This webinars. So this is our second day of the webinar series, Academic Profile Building Fair. So it has been a super fantastic Saturday with a long series of webinars. So it's our second day, and we are charged up with a lot of webinars today as well. So here is the first one. Uh, the webinar is from the Skyfi Labs, and I would love to invite Mr. Vasant Vidyakar for this particular webinar. And so before starting this webinar, I would love to give quick announcements. So we will be recording this webinar and uploading it on our YouTube channel for the students who would love to refer this webinar in future. As well as we would be going live on YouTube. So you can, if in case by any chance you couldn't register, you can attend our webinar live on this particular channel, the Next Genius Foundation. And lastly, there is a Q&A feature at the below of your app. You can use this feature. You can ask your question and queries. Your questions would surely be addressed at the end of this particular webinar. I would love to welcome Mr. Vasant Vidyakar again. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Ashal. Am I audible?
Yes, you're clearly audible.
Great. So, good afternoon to everyone. I'm really happy to see such kind of webinars being held. Right. I think this is definitely needed because the kind of exposure or the kind of pace at which the world is moving right now. Right. I think it's our responsibility to make sure that the kids of today get the world-class experience and prepare them for tomorrow.
True, true.
So with that perspective, in Skyfi Labs also we have developed the courses and the curriculum to benefit the students and make them the innovators of tomorrow, right? So I'll just quickly go through my presentation and show you how it is. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Your presentation is visible
Great.
and clear.
Great. So the theme is going to be on robotics online courses, right? So why robotics for kids and what is robotics? I think by robots, it's not just the robot that can walk and talk. Okay, so we actually take the smart devices as an example. So anything that is automated or anything that is smart will be actually called as a robot, right? So what we are trying to do here is how we can prepare the kids to become the tomorrow's innovators, right? Now, why it is needed? There are two specific reasons that we found. For instance, I think a lot of parents here will have the children in their secondary or higher secondary level, right? And which maybe they will be kids will be probably graduating in the year 2030, right? Now the generation in which you and me are in is completely going to be different from the current scenario, because I think when we went to school, we got first introduced to a mobile phone, a basic phone, right? And from that basic phone to the phone which has a good touch screen and display, it took probably 7-8 years, right? The 7-8 years versus dull phase, and we hardly saw any kind of technology improvement, right? But if you see today, last month you are getting a new phone, and this month you are getting an entirely new different phone itself, which can fold and do a lot of things, right? So the technology is advancing so fast that kids are getting into a lot of these kind of devices at the early age itself, right? So the first problem that we are going to face is it is really hard to predict what is going to happen by 2030, because we are really not sure. We are not sure what is going to happen in 2021, right? And it's really difficult for us to imagine how the world is going to be in 2030, right? So how can we prepare the children for this? And second thing is, now due to the internet boom, and for example, right now you and me are talking and we are able to help parents, right? Even though I am very much passionate about this, it will be very hard for me to reach more people through offline, right? I cannot go and meet everyone, but with the help of internet, and everyone have a device accessible to 4G internet and webcam and the facilities. Now kids of today, even someone who is in Tirunelveli, it's my hometown, right? It's a small town in Tamil Nadu can get the same exposure a kid is having in the Silicon Valley, right? Because we can learn from anywhere, and we can learn from the expert from any part of the world, right? So these are the two specific reasons that we found that it will be different from our age to the current kids age, right? And frankly speaking, the current school classes or the conventional learning is not going to help in either of these cases, because the kids are learning what we have learned in the school, right? There's nothing much change. So how can we avoid such kind of a scenario where our kid will end up the same in 2030? Because if they end up the same, then it will be hard for them to come out of it, right? So we are trying to address these two problems through our one-on-one courses, right? Now, the benefit of doing this, right? For instance, let us take when a child is looking at let's entering a mall, for instance, right? When you enter a mall, the door opens automatically, right? Now, although it's a very simple thing for us, but for a kid in his perspective, it is a completely different thing, right? It's like the magic for them, right? So if that is going to be there, then how can we help the children to understand those kinds of technology and make them do problem solving or learn problem solving, right? So for that, we are actually doing a robotics course, and it is a one-on-one class, which means the kit would be delivered to the kid's house, and they will be assigned with a team, right? Where there will be one-on-one interaction. Why one-on-one interaction? Because every kid is unique. Each child is having their own perspective, right? We want the children to have the best experience. That's the reason we are doing the one-on-one. Now, why these kind of projects? For instance, what is the benefit of doing such kind of projects? That is one question that I actually get from the parents, right? So how it is different is, when a kid is starting to do some projects with us, we address the why instead of how, right? So why we are doing this, what is the benefit and who will be benefited out of this, right? It can be as simple as how can we avoid the accidents in railway station, right? You might have heard a lot of news that wild animals or some car got into an accident because it was an unmanned condition. The person who is responsible is not there right now to close the gates, right? Or it can be as simple as you might have noticed that the street lights are on during the daytime also. Why is this happening? How can we avoid this, right? So we take such kind of examples, and we help the children to actually understand how we can actually develop solutions for them using technology, because technology is available for everyone, and how can we use the technology of today to solve this problem, right? So by this way, when the children are undergoing this kind of learning experience, right? So what we have seen is, we have seen three major benefits that happens. Okay, the first benefit, the immediate benefit that parents notice is, the child's perspective towards the world itself is different, where everything will look like engineering. Next time he opens the car door, the light turns on, he will try to think, okay, where is the sensor and how it is communicating to the device, right? And or it can be as simple as the mall, the door opening automatically, or the automatic hand wash, right? And so he will try to question them. The curiosity will develop in the child. That is the first benefit. And the second benefit is, since the children are building the projects with their own hands, right, they will actually start learning out of interest. Because right now, I think most of the parents can relate here that your children might lose interest like this, right? He might ask you for something, but you get him this, and immediately after a certain point of time, the interest dies down, and it's just it's just you got it, but the interest is not there. The children, no matter how hard you try, you cannot actually bring him back, right? So the second benefit what we have seen is, the children are building projects which are real time, and they're able to demonstrate and show, right? So they will start learning out of interest, where they will fall in love with science and technology. And when this happens, you don't have to give any pressure. They will start learning out of interest, and they will not expect that someone have to come and push them to, okay, you do this, you do this, you do the assignment. No, that's not happening here, because it's very practical, and the child is actually building the project with his own hands. He will learn out of interest, and when the interest is developed, I am pretty much sure when the child is interested, what is the limit, right? So you cannot stop the child. The child will actually go on his own. He will see YouTube videos, he will see tutorials, he will try to do something on his own, right? So that is the second benefit we see, in addition to his development in the logical thinking and reasoning ability, right? And the third is the most important benefit that we actually believe is the long-term benefit. For instance, since the children are quite young at this age, right, when they build the projects with their own hands and they are seeing an output, there's an outcome, right, it will actually give them more confidence that, okay, I'm able to build things and I'm able to create things. Now what happens, if a child gets this kind of confidence at an early age, they will actually develop an attitude that I can do anything, right? Now this kind of attitude will definitely help them to dream big and achieve big, because frankly speaking, I am myself an engineering graduate, okay, and I'm pretty much sure, the current engineering students who are there right now also have simple goals like, sitting for placement, get a job in MNC, right? Such kind of simple goals only they might be having, right? Nobody is even thinking, okay, how can I become like an Elon Musk, or how can I start my own company, or how can I create my own products, right? Those kind of thinking is not there. It's primarily because we got into this kind of exposure only and after we entered engineering college, and not also through the college, but out of our own interest, right? And by the time the interest gets developed, we are in third year, we are preparing for gate, we are preparing for placement, we are preparing for exam. So the passionate thing is not there to create technologies and companies. But if you see Sundar Pichai, or Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, right, so they did not start learning technology or start using technology after they entered college. From childhood onwards, they are very much interested and they learned coding, or they build some products when their childhood itself. A simple story is in Sundar Pichai, if you have heard his story, during his childhood, his father used to bring all the latest gadgets to his home, like latest radio or a small transmitter and all. So what Sundar Pichai used to do is he used to break those devices open and understand how it is working, because at the time there was no online classes to teach coding, robotics and all, right? It's just the pure child's ability. So now those kind of things at the early age will actually help him to go in that direction, right? So now why should our kids have less exposure than a kid in Silicon Valley, right? So when they do this kind of courses in the early age, it will actually set them a good platform to dream big for a good career prospect and achieve big. Yeah, they might not be interested in engineering after they by we are not sure, but this kind of mindset will actually be helpful in no matter what career they choose. So that's what we see, the three major benefits of our courses and how it will be helpful in their curriculum, right? Now to give you a glimpse of how our students learn in our courses, we see high engagement because of the kids. They are understanding why they are doing, right? And frankly speaking, a lot of kids tell me that, a lot of parents tell me that before the class, half an hour before only, he comes and he turns on the device, he joins the meeting. And the teacher also tells that the kid always joins like half an hour, 1 hour before, because the kid is looking forward for the class. And one parent even called me and he said, Vasant, the class happened in the afternoon, now he is not coming out, he's not going out to play, he's not coming for bath, he's not coming to eat food, he's just sitting and doing something. Did you give such a hard assignment that he has to do it till evening? I said, no ma'am, it's not that much, it's just take 30-40 minutes. But the kid, what he's doing is he's very curious, so he's seeing some videos and he's doing something. And the mother told me that he's not able to read something, so he called his father to tell, okay, can you read this and tell me what it is, and I want to do it right now. So such kind of engagement level we are seeing because of this practical approach, right? Now I have a very short video that I would like to show it to you all on how our courses work.
Hi Neil.
My name is Jagmohan and I'll be your robotics trainer.
Before we start the class, so what do you understand by robot?
Do you like robots?
Yes.
They are machines that help us make life easier.
A voice command robot, anything I say it will do. Sun is setting now. Now it's dark. Sun is rising now. Now it's bright. I didn't even move.
But still.
I don't have it in my hand. If I move it, won't even.
Okay, so now you can click on the green flag. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh, it worked!
It worked. Very nice.
Sensor 0 is 740, that is.
Digital 13, digital 12. So digital 13 and digital water.
Okay, then which is the left IR sensor?
Today I have made a line following robot.
So I have used a power bank. Now it moves front and now it turns.
Turn right. Turn left.
Right. So you can see, these are some examples of the projects that, kids are doing, right? And how they are coming up with their own innovative ideas, because we are taking the real world problem statement and we are actually helping them to build solutions using technology revolving around those problem statements. So the kids will start thinking in that perspective on, in future, whenever they come across a problem, they will try to solve that using technology, not just, wait for someone to find a device and use it, right? So that is what is very much needed, and what we have seen is a huge engagement and the development in the kids, because right now this is needed, and we cannot provide what I feel is, even if schools start teaching robotics or coding, right, the problem with that is the entire class would be optimized for a fast learner or a most slowest learner, right? It will not be optimized for a specific child, right? And if that happens, if the proper guidance is not given, the child might lose interest altogether, right? So we need to approach this in a different perspective, and we need to make sure that the children is getting the kids of ours are actually getting the same kind of exposure that what anyone is getting across the globe, right? So that is the whole methodology of why we are starting to provide this kind of courses for the kids, right? And why we are able to do it, because we have a good background and history with this kind of projects, right? Even our courses are being part of IIT Delhi for the past 5 years, right, where they also believe on the similar kind of thinking, right? So the first year students have a subject on introduction to engineering, where there is a mandatory program they have to take with Sci-Fi Labs to get some credits on their system, right? And we have trained close to 4 lakh students across 53 different countries, right, on all the latest technologies, not only on robotics. It can be mechatronics, machine learning, AI, right? So with such kind of experience, we are actually in a place to provide these kind of courses to the children and make them the innovators of tomorrow, right? And these are some of the feedbacks that our parents give us. The kids starts telling that I don't want anything for my birthday, can you just get a new kit from Sci-Fi Labs, right? And so that's kind of a feedback that we are getting these are from the parents itself, right? Because the parents are really happy to see the children doing these kind of things. And even you can actually go to YouTube and just type Sci-Fi Labs projects, right? You can see a lot of videos where kids have done, and they are uploading into their YouTube channel. They made nice edits also, right? They give an introduction, they do a play, they do a demonstration, right? So they're not stopping from someone to give them an opportunity. They are actually showcasing their skills to the entire world and building a digital profile. I think that is something that we are highly successful on helping the kids and the parents in this perspective, right? And so how to get started? So what we do is because we have different levels in robotics and different courses, right? So we'll not be able to tell what's the right course unless our teacher assesses the child, right? So the first class we are giving as a free trial class, so that our teacher can assess the child, what he knows already and where he stands and what's the right curriculum, right? So after trial class they will be suggesting the course, and so that you can actually see how the methodology works, and you can try and see the curriculum as well, and then you can proceed, right? So just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of what we are doing, because why I kept it to the company side of Skyflux, because this is not a generic thing. It's not that you see a lot of companies or organizations doing this, right? Because they're not, even there are companies who does coding, but they do only coding because it's very difficult for them to ship the kit or give them a hands-on experience. Because for coding, the curriculum is available online and people will be able to engage it very well, right? But with respect to robotics or this kind of smart applications, only when you have a good expertise on the subject and you have a proper logistics team, then only it will be possible. And we make sure that the children gets the best teachers and learn very good in a particular class, right? So that's about what I wanted to talk. I just wanted to keep it in a little short brief manner so that I can take up more questions.
Yeah. That was really a great session from you, Mr. Vasant. Really enjoyed. Got to know about lot many different types of courses what you are conducting over here, and how a student can be innovative as well as and the courses were pretty much highly engagement from that perspective. I would like to know, like, are students like from grade 9, grade 10 as well, like, what sort of students do pursue this course?
Right. It's a good question. So we actually start from age 8 onwards, right? And we have 4 different levels in robotics, right? So the first level is suggested for age 8 and above, second level for age 10 to 12, and third level is for age 12 to 14 or 15, right? Now this is only in robotics, right? And we have good courses for more advanced level also, right? So why this is basically, see, this one started in the past 2-3 years, right? Now kids who are in the 10th standard, 11th standard, when they were in the age 8, this exposure was not there, or else they would have also got, right? So what we are doing is we will take them through a journey where we will prepare them for more advanced courses, right? So to answer your question, the level 3 and level 4 are for designed exclusively for kids who are in 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, right? But they don't stop after that. After that, we have the advanced courses on IoT, mechatronics and AI, right? Which, engineering students also doing, right? We have courses for engineering level students also. So we have got the content and the curriculum, and we have optimized it for the kids level where our teacher would be engaging, right? So we have approximately 200 plus classes for grade 9 and above. Total, we have 400 classes.
Okay, nice. And so, what sort of recognition or certification do students get, and secondly, do they participate in any competitive sort of competitions or something? Like, would you like to throw some light on that?
Right. So there are 2 things in this, right? One, we ourselves conduct competitions, right? Because we have students from more than 53 different countries, right? So how can they assess their performance with someone who is in US, or how can they assess their performance, someone who is in Japan, right? So what we do is we conduct the virtual competitions, and recently we have conducted a competition in with respect to the with respect to smart city concept, right? So what we do is there will be an ideation where the children have to submit their ideas, and we will be shortlisting those ideas, and the teacher who is taking the class will help them to develop a prototype, a small prototype for their idea, and they'll be presenting it to the audience in the entire world, right? So virtual competition that we conduct to make them assess where they stand. This is first thing. And second thing is, you might have heard of a lot of Olympiad and robotics competitions that happen all throughout the world, and even it happens in the IITs and NITs, right? So when that happens, we'll be sending a notification to the parents and the kids who are near to that region, right? So that they can apply for it, and if they are shortlisted, our teacher will actually help them to prepare for the competition, and the kit that we are sending to the kids is enough for any competition that they want to participate. They don't have to purchase a single screw also outside. So those kind of things is what we have created. So those kind of opportunities we create for the students, and our students have won a lot of prizes in the Olympiad competitions as well.
Okay, great. There are a few questions in the Q&A. I would like to go through it. So the first question is like, so what are the different duration of the different courses, the levels what you have? So how is the duration?
Right. So each course, each level will have 50 classes, 50. Okay. So it will take 7 months to complete one specific level, because we would be suggesting maximum 2 classes per week. right? Because there would be some assignments involved each and every class. It's a practical assignment which the kid have to develop the product and all. So we suggest having 2 classes per week, and it will take 7 months. But the benefit of this is it's one-on-one, right? So we will work according to the kids' schedule. If suppose they are having exams or they're going on vacations, they can take a pass and they can resume it later on also.
Okay, okay, cool. And also one more question is like, does having the a little bit of background knowledge of some particular maybe robotics or something like, does it help for a student?
Right. I think question was about the Scratch. Right. So Scratch, what we do is we even start with the Scratch. It's a graphical programming language to get them started. So the idea is why we want to introduce graphical programming language at the early ages. See, right now, if you see, like few years back, C++ was trending. Then after that, it was Java, and now it is Python R, right? And after 2-3 years, we are not sure what programming language is going to come, right? But if we can, help the children to understand how to come up with the right logic to make a system work, right? That will be helpful. So that can be achieved easily with the help of Scratch, right? But what we believe is learning Scratch with the examples of applications and games are not very effective, because it will be very hard for the children to visualize how software or programming can influence the actual world, right? So what we do is we teach graphical programming with actual products and examples, so that the child will be able to come up with the right logic to make the system work together. To answer the question, yes, the knowledge on Scratch will definitely be helpful, because understanding the programming logic is the first step. Once a kid knows how to write logic, learning any programming language would be simple, because I myself does coding also. Like Skyflux website runs on my code, right? Now if you wake me in the night and you ask me, can you tell how this page and this particular segment, can you tell me the code? I cannot do it, right? Because I know how it works, and if you give me some time, I can make it happen, because I have to search and I have to come up with the syntax, and it's very difficult for anyone to remember the syntax. So having knowledge on Scratch will be definitely helpful, since they understand how to write the programming, the logic to make the system work.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And do we conduct the sessions like, other than online mode? Do we conduct it offline or something?
Yes, so we have worked with more than 600 institutions in India, right? Where we go and provide short courses like 2 days and 5 days camps, right? And we help them to build projects in the classroom itself, right? But we would be, that is a separate thing, because there what happens is the one-on-one engagement will not be there. The classroom will have 20-30 students, right? So it's a short-term course where they just do it like time pass or something, right? But here our one-on-one course is the other side. It's a full-fledged course where there's a progressive learning experience, and the kid is going to learn for 2-3 years with us, and understand how to build projects and all. So we do both, and it depends on what the requirement we will be providing. But I think due to COVID, it's been 1 year that we did not do any program on that, and we are more focused on this. And I think this is a better way to engage a child if they are really serious about this.
Nice, nice. Yes, yes. So I guess we are done with the questions in the Q&A, and we really got to know about your course, like very much a short brief about your course, what sort of things you conduct, and how exactly a student would be helpful for pursuing this particular course. So I guess thank you for coming over here and giving us this particular wisdom. I guess there are too many questions coming again. Like, is there any specific course you would like to recommend for a 16-17-year-old?
Yes, so we have 2 types of courses. Okay, well, the one is for the higher education, the engineering level students, and the second one is for the school level students. Right now, the higher level courses that we have more than 200 topics in IoT, robotics, mechatronics, and those are like self-paced course. Self-paced course means they get the kit delivered to their doorstep, and the video will be there, the learning portal where the concept would be there, and the programming and the connections and the quizzes. So the kids have to go through the videos and build by themselves, right? So we have courses for age 16, 17 also, but those are on the self-paced mode, not on the live mode, right? So they will, because we believe that by age 16, 17, they have the aptitude to learn by themselves, right? So, but we will be providing a teacher also who will be available to answer questions when they have, but not from the directly from the teacher. That is one thing.
Okay.
And the second question is on the cost, right? So the cost here would be, for instance, we will be charging per class, right? For instance, when you go for the 50 classes package, 50, it's 7-month long course, the fee for the 50 classes package is 29,999, right? So a per class fee would be approx 600 rupees. And the fee is inclusive of the kit also, which would be delivered to the doorstep, right? And all the classes are one-on-one, and they can schedule the classes as per their convenient time.
Okay. So basically, I got to know. I just came across one more question. So all the kits, like whatever the things are required, so those instruments should be provided from your side, or is it?
Right. We will be delivering, because it will be very difficult for anyone to get those components, because I will tell you, one kit will have like approximately 300 types of items, right? So you cannot get it outside, and the kit is specially designed for the kids, and we have our own warehouse and the designing team and the testing team, right? So the kit will not be available outside, so the kit will be given along with the course.
Okay, great. I guess all the questions have been answered by far. And it was really a nice session from you, Mr. Vasant Vidyakar. Really enjoyed it. Got to know a lot more about the different innovative courses that you provide. I would like you to post your, if in case you have your website, or I would encourage the students to, go to their website, and they would find more in-depth understanding about what sort of courses they are providing. So, and you can definitely get back to Mr. Vasant sir. He has already presented his email ID. You can contact him on it. And it was really nice talking to you, sir. Would love to see you in one of our next webinar series with some of the different courses what you provide for the other students. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I really enjoy the experience, because it's always fun for me to talk about our programs and what our kids are achieving to others, right? I feel pride in doing that, and I really appreciate your effort in making this happen, and doing the constant follow-ups and making sure that it's happening. I think the idea of posting this on YouTube and will also be helpful, so that other parents also, when they have time, they'll be able to look to it, right? And they'll be actually helpful. So I'm really thankful to you, Harshal. Thanks for this. So keep doing the great job. I think together we can actually help the children of today become the future of India. Yeah.
Surely. So once again, lastly for the students, Mr. Vasant Vidyakar, he has listed his contact details, so you can get back to him for whatever queries you have. And so thank you to everyone for